Si former 1986 Constitutional Commission Chairman sa isa pong particular na committee dyan, yung Committee on Accountability of Public Officers at dati rin po siyang chairman ng COMELEC. Maganda umaga po, Chairman Christian Monsod.
Magandang umaga po.
Apo, salamat sa panahon. Chairman, ito pong inyong petition for certiorari with mandamus.
Oo.
Ano hong kaibahan
Yes.
nito doon po sa nauna pang petisyon na inihain sa Supreme Court concerning the same issue, compelling Congress to enact a law prohibiting political dynasty, sir?
Yes, because that's in our constitution. In order for us, we had, in 1987, we had just restored democracy to our country, and we wanted as a principle that it should be a participatory democracy, and for this purpose, there must be an we are anti-dynasty, and we left it to Congress to define a dynasty. You know why? Because at the time we were discussing this, sabi namin, well, we have a starting democracy now, and maybe 10, 15, 20, 25 years from now, we will already have a real democracy, participatory, and we may not need uh, to disqualify people by reason of the fourth degree, let's say, of dynasty. We may not have a dynasty problem. So I think that if we made mistakes when we wrote the Constitution, and we consulted first all over the country on what the people wanted, and it's there. But if we had a shortcoming, it's number one is we overestimated yung spirit of EDSA. And number two, we underestimated the greed of politicians for power and money. And also there's the corruption that goes with it. So now, in our system of checks and balances, uh, it is said that the Congress is the purse, the executive is the sword, but the judiciary, the Supreme Court, as last resort, is the conscience of the country. So we're appealing to the Supreme Court to use its expanded powers under the new Constitution to to address grave abuse of discretion amounting to lack or excess of jurisdiction of any branch or instrumentality of government. That it is time, after 38 years, that Congress has refused because it is under their self-interest to enact a law that is mandated by the Constitution.
Opo.
Yan ang situation.
Apo,
That's
apo,
why we
apo, apo,
filed
apo.
the petition.
Opo. Chairman, I hope you don't mind just kung maari lang po mag-Filipino po tayo para mas marami po ang makaunawa po sa ating pinag-uusapan, it will
Opo.
be better. So, Chairman, ganito po, alam po naman natin na bago po ang inyong petisyon, meron pa pong dalawang unang petisyon na nakahain ngayon pending sa Supreme Court on the same subject
Yes.
matter. But before that, meron na pong inilabas ang Supreme Court na desisyon. Ito po yung sinasabi ng Supreme Court na ang kapangyarihan ng lehislatura ay tangan lamang ng Kongreso at hindi ito maaaring panghimasukan ng hukuman. Hindi lamang daw ito dahil sa ito'y kwestyong politikal, ngunit ito'y kapangyarihan na ibinibigay ng saligang batas sa lehislatura. Ang pagdedesisyon kung anong batas ang gusto nilang gawin ay karapatan lamang ng Kongreso at hindi maituturing na pawang ministerial duty lamang. So yun po ang basically po nilalaman ng Supreme Court decision. So ano po ang ating argumento para kontrahin yun at magbago po ng kaisipan ang ating mga maestrado?
Well, sinabi ko nga, no, well,
Opo.
go back and say, yung alam ninyo sa ating Constitution, yung first principle under Article 2, Section 1, is sovereignty resides in the people and all government authority emanates from them.
Okay.
The sovereignty of the people. And the people we represent the people who are saying, what happened to that mandate, yung Constitution, bakit hindi nagpapasa ang Kongreso ng anti-dynasty law? Right? So, nagpetisyon kami, that I think we're number 3, and there, marami pa siguro magpetisyon. Pero the principle here is that the system of checks and balances and the rule of law in our country, yun ang first principles. And whatever authority is given to Congress emanates on yung sovereignty ng tao. So, dapat pakinggan yung tao na sinasabi that paano tayo magkakaroon ng demokrasya? As a matter of fact, yung demokrasya natin palubog na yata dahil yung problema ng dynasty is lumalaki. And it's time for the Congress to be reminded, to be told na hey, you have an obligation here under the Constitution. It's your obligation to the people to pass an anti-dynasty law. And the Supreme Court can do that. As I told you, I read you the expanded powers of the Supreme Court under our Constitution.
Opo, opo. Yes sir, that yung nga pong binabanggit nyo, no, yung ang konsyensya ng bayan ay nasa
Yes.
kataas-taas ng hukuman. Pero Chairman, ito lang po, no, sa kabilang banda ang sinasagot ng mga dinastiya, no, itong palawak ng mga miyembro po ng dinastiya, sovereign will of the people, binoboto naman kami. Gusto naman kami ng taong bayan Kung ayaw sa amin, hindi kami iboboto niyan. So, nasa taong bayan ang pag-uusga kung gusto nilang iboto ang mga miyembro ng dinastiya. Ano pong sagot niyo doon?
Well, alam niyo yung mga congressman natin represent the people. They have an accountability to the people sa ating constitution. And hindi yung reasoning nila is yung cover lang yun to their own yung kanilang ambisyon to rule na gusto nila with impunity na maski anong gawin nila tama. Hindi po mali mali sila doon. Yung kanilang conscience, that's why we are appealing to the Supreme Court na sila ang konsensya ng bayan na sabihin sa Congress, oy, meron kayo ditong mandate ng Constitution 38 years na. Ano excuse pa ang pwedeng kanilang sabihin kung bakit hindi sila gumagawa ng ganyang batas? Ano excuse? 38 years? Hindi nila ginagawa?
Opo. So Chairman, kung sakasakali po, meron na ba kayong ideya kung ano po ang nasa sakop ng dinastiya as embodied in our Constitution in the spirit and intent of the law?
Yes. Well, alam nyo, we can always resort dun sa People's Initiative. And there are other ways to solve it, but these are long-term solutions. And we waited so long for Congress. Wala na silang excuse. There's no more excuse by congressman except that it is in their, it's clear na self-interest nila. Now, there is also another way, but longer route, no? If you look at the statistics and data on the National Statistical Authority, Philippine Statistical Authority, na looking at poverty is what 18%. Pero sa kanila, yung number of Filipinos who do not have a decent living in the Philippines, life in the Philippines, is 58%. So one way to do this is to tell the poor, we are intermediaries, and we tell them, hey, you have the sovereignty of numbers, and mukhang hindi natin madidismantle itong mga dynastic clans, and we must start from the beginning. We must go back to our beginnings. Kasi alam nyo, si tayo lalo na we will have a agent of hope who will transform the country from the top down. But what did the pandemic show us? The pandemic showed us that in the communities, many communities in the country, yung may pera o have the means, tinulungan yung nangangailangan. Ito yung magandang lesson nung pandemic. So if we use that, we say, pwede pala magkaroon ng transformation from the bottom up rather than up to bottom. So, what ang akin dyan, dapat yan may tutulungan natin yung church, yung good business people, at saka yung media, na atin tulungan yung mga mahirap na tumakbo, for example, beginning from the barangay elections. If the poor control the barangay elections, and there's no reason why they cannot control because meron silang, as I call it, sovereignty of numbers, 58% of the country. So after that, 3 years later, they should control the municipalities, another 3 years the provinces, and after that, national. That's one way of getting rid of these political dynasties from the bottom up transformation. And marami tayong solusyon. But we have to tell congressmen, tama na yung mga excuses. You pass it, kaysa gawin namin lahat ito. Longer term lang, but maybe even more serious way of doing it.
Opo. Chairman, yung pong tanong na during the deliberation po nitong provision na ito sa Constitutional Commission na dati, no? Sa provision na ito ng pagbabawal sa political dynasty, napag-usapan ba doon kung hanggang anong degree ng pagkakamag-anak po? Ano po ang inyong ideya dito? Ano ba dapat dito po ang basic po na dapat ipinagbabawal? Tatay, anak, asawa? Go ahead.
Yeah. Yes. Actually, sa this discussion, the most probable way to do it is 4 degrees. In other words, up to first cousins, 4-degree relationship. That's the correct way. And she, actually there was a proposal for anti-dynasty law filed by Senator Robin Padilla, and I was a part of the hearing then in the Senate, na ang kanyang proposal is 4 degrees. 4 degrees. And namatay yun sa committee yata. As all proposals for anti-dynasty, they happen to it, no, na sa committee pa lang or sa hindi umaabot sa plenary ang anti-dynasty law.
Opo, sige po. So again, bago po natin iwan tong inyong petisyon na ito, yung pong inyong prayer sa Supreme Court, sabi nga po ninyo, gaya ng mga nauna pang pending na 2 ngayon, opo, sa inyo pong pagtansya ngayon, kasama po si former Senior Supreme Court, Senior Justice Antonio Carpio, ano po ang inyong damdamin dito? Ito na ba ang pagkakataon talaga na ang Supreme Court ay magbabago ng paninindigan? Meron bang kasaysayan ng Supreme Court na nagbago sila ng kanilang desisyon sa ganito napaka-importanteng isyong pambayan?
Well, alam niyo, we're always hoping that the Supreme Court will act with independence as the conscience of the nation. Yan ang ating, we pray for that. And I think Chief Justice Quismondo is a good man, no? But have you read the study of published by Cambridge University about the voting record of justices, 86 justices, in 70 mega cases in the Supreme Court from 1987 to 2020 or 2021? Anong findings nila? Ang findings nila is that the average decision of justices was in favor of the government or appointing power, 69%. Pero yung mga appointees of President Duterte And there are, I think, 13 justices out of the 15 justices today. But over the years, from 1987 to 2021, yung mga appointees ni Duterte from 2016, ang kanilang record of voting is 94% in favor of the appointing power. So that is a source of for us, no, yung how will the Supreme Court decide this. For example, we filed already a petition in November 2023, uh, um, that the 125 million given by the president from his contingency funds and given to Vice President Duterte was unconstitutional, and it's still pending in the Supreme Court. I think there are two others who also filed. Kaya we're praying that the Supreme Court abides by its role in this check and balance system, na that they perform the role that's expected of them, di ba? And in this case, because this is far-reaching consequences sa ating bayan, yung wala tayong anti-dynasty law, na we are already on a slippery slope to authoritarianism, and we have to stop this.
Opo,
We
so,
have to stop.
opo. So, Chairman, ang inyo pong sinasabi doon sa study po ng Cambridge na ito, Cambridge, ay yung mga desisyon pabor doon sa appointing authority, nangangahulugan po ng ngayon dahil iba na ang nasa Malacanang, mag-iiba na po ng perhaps mga desisyon ng ating mga maestrado. Ganun ho ba yun? Can you please clarify lang po?
Well, I don't know. I'm just telling you that that's the record voting of 86 justices since 1987 to 2021, no, or 2020. And there's another study also published Cambridge University, that in our part of the world, there are two countries that are drifting or leaning towards authoritarianism: Indonesia and the Philippines. And do you know that the Philippines is number 4 in the world on cronyism? We are number 4 in the world. So we have to watch out for this. Kasi in our system, the source of legitimacy of elected officials is the people. Now, the source of legitimacy of appointed officials like the Supreme Court is independence. So we expect sana that the Supreme Court will abide by this and the role as the conscience of the country.
Opo, opo. Sige po. So, Chairman, maiba lang po ako ha, kasi kayo din po naman na timing. Ito po pala ay nasa inyo pong komite, no? Yung Article 11 sa ating pong saligang batas na accountability of public officers. This might be a little bit too late now, pero can you just clarify po, during the deliberation of this provision, yung pong Section 4, in case the verified complaint or resolution of impeachment is filed by at least 1/3 of all members of the House, the same shall constitute the articles of impeachment, and trial by the Senate shall forthwith proceed. Opo, ang sabi po dito ni Ginoong Escudero na Senate
Shall forthwith
President.
proceed.
Opo. Opo, ang sabi po dito ni Ginoong Escudero, hindi po, no. Ang sabi niya dito, ang kanyang interpretasyon, ito po ay may proceed, opo, within reasonable time, yun ang sinasabi niya. Can you just explain, sir, ano ba ang ibig sabihin po during your deliberation, kung ito po yung napag-usapan, ng forthwith proceed?
Alam po ninyo, all he has to do is look at the dictionary or a source of meanings of words. Na what does it mean to proceed forthwith? Ano na nakalagay? Immediately. It means immediately. Kasi it's important in enforcing yung accountability ng mga government people. It's important na it's addressed immediately. Di ba? Kasi they have betrayed the public trust. Public office is a public trust. And when they betray the public trust, they must be um, put on the chair to say, hey, meron ditong impeachment, and it has to be acted immediately. I think that what happens in the Senate is that the senators did not want to have a hearing on television before elections, even if it's not completed, kasi lumabas ang true self nila doon sa deliberations on television of the trial of impeachment of the Vice President. Baka mawalaan sila ng boto kung however way they go, di ba? Parang ayaw nilang ma-publicize yung kanilang sarili, yung what they really are, and where their loyalties lie. Kaya pinospone nila yung trial until after elections.
Opo. So, again, doon po sa sagot ni Ginoong Escudero na ang definition para sa kanya ng forthwith ay within reasonable time is out of order, Mr. Chairman.
Oo, opo. Magaling sa ganyan si Senate President, di ba? Maliwanag na ang bibig sabihin ng forthwith proceed is immediately. Hindi siguro niya nabasa.
Okay. Chairman, mas magiging komplikado na ito ngayon considering po na 19th Congress itong sinasabi nilang pagsisimula ng kanilang paghahanda sa trial, pero the trial will proceed during the 20th Congress. Will that create more confusion or legal impediments?
No, hindi naman. Ah, kasi the Senate is a continuing body. In other words, there are 12 there who have been, and the new 12. Even in the Supreme Court, there are new appointees or people who retire. This is a continuing body. So pwedeng i-continue yung trial under the new Senate.
Opo, okay, sige po. May pahabol lang pong tanong si Chacha, Chairman, I hope you don't mind.
Yes
Gercha.
po. Chairman, nananawagan po kayo, no, nagsabi kayo na pangalanan po itong mga senador na hindi agad nga umaksyon dito sa impeachment proceedings laban kay Vice President Sara Duterte para magkaroon ng transparency and accountability. Kung sakali po ba, halimbawa, maisiwalat kung sino talaga ang mga pro and against na simulan itong impeachment, ano pong magiging epekto nito sa pananaw po ng publiko sa pananagutan nitong mga halal na opisyal po ng bayan natin?
Sorry, I didn't get the question.
Yes po.
What is your question?
Oo. Ano po sa tingin ninyo ang magiging epekto po sa pananaw po ng publiko kung sakali pong isisiwalat ito pong kung sino yung pro and against dito po sa impeachment trial po ng Vice President Sara Duterte?
Sa palagay ko informally within the Senate, sinabi na ang trial pwede doon na lang after elections. Kasi will be on television dun sa trial, baka mawalaan kami ng boto kung pagkita kami kung ano posisyon namin o ano ang aming ang hangarin tungkol dito sa impeachment, yung kung ano mangyayari. So sa akin, pinagbigyan sila ni Senate President Escudero na hindi muna karoon ng trial na lalabas during the campaign period.
Pinagbigyan sila. Yun po yung ginamit ninyong term ni Senate President Cheese Escudero. Last na lang po sa akin, ano naman pong magiging papel din po ng publiko dito po sa magiging aksyon ng mga senador kung sakali po talaga na patuloy pa rin po nilang iantala itong impeachment trial? Meron bang pwedeng gawin ng publiko?
Well, that's up to them, no? Kasi may kanya-kanya namang pag-iisip yung ating mga kababayan na makikita nila yung tunay na loyalties o tunay na leanings ng mga senator tungkol dito sa kaso nito. Is it for the common good or is it for their good, para sa kanila? No, it's not a question of it's a common good. Ito ay para sa bansa, kundi yung self-interest nila might be affected by what they say or how they raise the points in a trial, in the impeachment trial. So yun ang aking guess, no, on why it was postponed so long. I mean, February 5 yung resolution ng House that became the articles of impeachment automatically because there were 1/3 vote of all the congressmen. It's February 5 pa yun eh, nung dineliver sa Senate.
Opo.
And the rules of impeachment, there have been 3 or 4 impeachment cases already in the Senate. Ano pa? They don't have to write a new set of laws. They can just amend or revise certain things that they want in the rules. Pero why should that take a lot of time?
Opo.
That they already have all kinds of rules on impeachment in 3 or 4 cases, di ba?
Opo. So, Chairman, sa wikang Filipino po yata may kasabihan sa ganyan, no? Kung gusto, may paraan. Kung ayaw, maraming dahilan. Salamat. Salamat po sa inyo pong panahon, Chairman Munsod, sa aming pong programa. Mabuhay po, sir.
Salamat din.
Opo. Thank you.